Hello again, science students. Mr. Michalski here. This time to talk about the first part of your notes on the human digestive system. All right, so best if you get your notes out and you can follow along. I'm just saying these off the top of my head, but since I wrote your notes, I probably got it right. So the digestive system's purpose, right, is to take the stuff you eat and drink, break it down into all the basic nutrients that your body needs, and then get it absorbed into your bloodstream so it can all go to all the trillions of cells you're made out of. So there's two basic waste products, right? When you go to the bathroom, there's the yellow stuff, the liquid, the urine. That's the toxic waste that's left over after you've processed food and used it for energy and whatever. Just like you put gasoline in a car, and the gasoline is burned and allows the car to move, which is what you own the car for. But there's waste products too that comes out of the exhaust pipe. It's poisonous stuff. So you need a tailpipe to get it out of the car so it doesn't get inside the car where you're driving, because it's like poisonous stuff to breathe. So your kidneys are getting rid of the poisonous stuff that's in your food, but that your body doesn't want. And your liver cleans out a lot of that stuff too. The solid waste in the bathroom, right? The feces, the poop, that's actually food your body never absorbed at all. In other words, you eat a hamburger, fries, and a shake, and your body uses whatever it can use from that, but there's stuff left that it doesn't need, and it just never gets used at all. It just goes straight out of your system down the toilet, hopefully. All right, so first let's talk about what the nutrients are that your body uses when you eat and drink stuff, right? Water. Water is necessary to dissolve the nutrients you eat in the liquid part of your blood, the plasma, so it can be absorbed into all your cells, and also it can take away the waste products dissolved in water, which your kidneys remove from the blood, and then you add a little bit of water so you have liquid waste that you can pee out. So you need water, got to have water, right? Protein is what you're made out of. So protein comes from meat and fish and poultry, and also nuts and beans and seeds. So there's a lot of it in soybeans, and you make tofu from soybeans and so on like that. It's what you're made out of. It's what your skin and your muscles and your teeth and bones are made with protein. Your hair is made out of protein, all right? Carbohydrates are what you use for energy. So carbs come in two forms. Starch, which you get from bread and cereal and rice and potatoes and pasta and crackers and all that stuff. And sugar, which you get directly from fruits and maple syrup and, just the sugar you have on your table. Your body uses sugar as fuel, the same way the car uses gasoline as fuel. So your car is not made out of gasoline, but it runs on gasoline. Your car is made out of steel and plastic and rubber and glass. And so you're made out of protein, but you run on carbs. Starch is a larger kind of molecule. It's made out of more bits, and it takes your body longer to digest starch. Sugar is very, very small bits that can be absorbed right into your cells. So when you eat something with sugar or drink something with sugar, that's energy that your body uses very quickly. But if you eat something with a lot of starch in it, that is something your body has to break down. It takes a couple hours before that energy is available. So if you want a quick burst of energy, sugar or a candy bar or a glass of juice, if you're going to run the New York Marathon, then the day or two before you eat a lot of starchy stuff, a lot of pasta or rice or stuff, and it pumps up your muscles full of long-term energy for that 20-something mile run. Okay? Almost forgot to mention fat. Fat's easy to forget about because we almost always think of fat as something that you don't want in your diet or that you're supposed to get rid of in your diet. But fat is a very, very important molecule in your nutrition. Fat is long-term energy storage. And you don't get fat eating fat. You get fat eating too many carbs. So if you eat more starch and sugar than your body can use, your body cells can convert the starch and sugar molecules into fat molecules, and they save it around your body in different places. It's basically energy for a rainy day, as it were. It's if you haven't managed to eat on some day. Nature doesn't know that you live in a country with supermarkets and refrigerators. You have evolved to be a creature that took advantage of food when you could get it, and you had probably days in the Stone Age where you didn't get to eat much of anything at all, so your body stores up the extra as fat to use later. And also, fat is a very important ingredient in a lot of hormones and enzymes that run your body. For you girls, the hormones estrogen and progesterone, which take girls and turn them into women, very important in the reproductive cycle and being able to have babies. Those are all fat-based molecules. So in particular, when women allow themselves to be anorexic and they lose so much body fat that they're dangerously thin, it really interferes with their hormones and their ability to have children in the future and all kinds of stuff. And even for men, the testosterone and those kind of other hormones that are male hormones primarily, they're fat-based molecules, a lot of them. So fat's an important part of your diet. You don't want too much of it, but you don't want to eliminate it from your diet completely either. Then there's vitamins and minerals. That's like the oil in your car. Your car shouldn't be burning oil, but it uses oil to run more smoothly. Your body uses vitamins to keep everything running at peak performance. And minerals are also things that your body uses. Some of them you're built out of, like phosphorus and calcium is what your bones and teeth are made out of. Other ones like iron go into your red blood cells as part of a chemical called hemoglobin that absorbs oxygen. So you need these things in your diet. But your body doesn't burn vitamins and minerals. It uses them to kind of keep the works going well, right? So that's the nutrition that goes in, right? Now, what does your body do? When you eat or drink food, it's a whole process. It starts in your mouth, goes down to your stomach, from your stomach to your intestines, and from your intestines, the waste products come out, right? So there's two bits. There's called mechanical digestion. That's the physical breaking of your food into small enough pieces so that your bloodstream can absorb it. All right? That's the mashing up of the food. Then there's the chemical digestion, which is your body makes special chemicals. The Golgi apparatus in the cells of your salivary glands and your stomach and your pancreas are making chemicals that they add to the stuff, and it gets mixed together, and that breaks down things too. All right? So if you got your notes, you're going to see that your teeth, tongue, and mouth are grinding up food. That's mechanical digestion. When you swallow it, it goes to your stomach, and your stomach mushes things around, which is why your stomach makes noises sometimes. And that's all mechanical digestion. The chemical digestion starts with your saliva, which turns starch into sugar. If you ever want to do a slightly gross experiment, but an interesting one, get some very plain starchy food like plain rice or white bread without the crust on it, or the inside of a bagel without any stuff on it. Chew it up and leave it in your mouth, like leave it in your cheeks for a couple minutes. The saliva will turn the starch into sugar. And over several minutes, that starch will start to taste sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. It's a little bit awkward to do because you're not used to chewing something and leave it in your mouth a long time, but if you try it, you'll find it's true. So the saliva moistens the food so it's easier to swallow, but mixes it with this enzyme that turns the starch into sugar. The food goes to your stomach. Now your stomach adds hydrochloric acid, very powerful acid, that breaks proteins apart. So you're made out of protein, right? But when you eat a steak, you're eating cow protein, and you're not made out of cow protein, you're made out of people protein. So it's like getting a toy made out of Lego blocks, a pirate ship made out of Lego blocks. And you can break apart all the Lego blocks and then build anything you want. That's what your body does. It takes the protein from cows and chickens and fish and peanuts, and your digestive system breaks them all down, absorb into your cells, and your cells build them into human proteins. Okay? Now, the stomach mixes this mishmash of what you've eaten and drank in hydrochloric acid till it's all evenly mixed, like in a blender. And when it's all evenly mixed, your stomach can tell. And it opens up a little valve that lets it go into the intestines where all the goodness is going to be absorbed. Now, while it's going to the intestines, your pancreas and your liver add different chemicals, bile and protein digesting enzymes, and the pancreas adds stuff that helps digest proteins even more. The liver, through the gallbladder, adds something called bile, and bile digests your fats. If you ever knew anybody that had to have their gallbladder removed, they have to be careful about how fatty their food is. They can't eat really fatty stuff or it makes them nauseous. Because without the gallbladder, you don't get this burst of bile when you eat. So bile digests the fats. Now you've got this mix. I've got chipmunks chasing each other in my backyard right here. Right behind me. Okay. Anyway, never mind them. So now you've got this mixture of digested food with these extra chemicals to break down the proteins and fats, and now the whole thing goes through your small intestine. It's called the small intestine because it's narrower. It's about the width of your index finger, but it's very long, like 20 feet long. Inside you, wrapped up inside you like noodles. And the food takes several hours to work its way through this whole tunnel, this long tunnel. And while it does, stuff's being absorbed from it like a conveyor belt till by the time it gets to the end of that tunnel, almost everything good has been taken out of it. Then it goes into your large intestine, which is shorter but much thicker. And the large intestine now absorbs all the water you need. And now you just have solid brown waste. And then it goes into your rectum, which is where you feel like you have to go to the bathroom. And then, of course, your anus, which is, the muscle at the end of your butt that is there to make sure you don't poop till you're ready to, which is a good thing. Now, later we'll be talking about diseases and ailments, but the common one everybody knows about is diarrhea, right? What's diarrhea? It's when your poop has a lot of water in it. Well, that's when your large intestine isn't working properly. If it's not absorbing the water, there's a lot of water in the waste, and that's a problem. We'll get to that later. So anyway, see to your notes, fill everything in, email me if you got questions. You'll have a little assessment during the week to see how you understood all this. Bye for now.